Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Real Talk Live.
Yo.
I was told that the blurred image could have been ridiculous to see if you only knew what was happening behind the blur.
It was equally ridiculous.
It was.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely ridiculous.
But thank you guys so much for joining us. We got a few people on right now. It's good to see you. Welcome to Real Talk, Real Talk Live. This is where we give you guys an opportunity to ask questions about God, life, the Bible, us, everything in it, anything.
That's right.
You can ask questions, and we're going to answer them to the best of our ability.
And we can't promise anything.
No. And if we don't know the answer, we're going to tell you that too. But we just want to give you guys the opportunity to ask anything you want. But really quick, it's time to introduce everyone. I'm Blake.
Yo.
Hi, Blake.
Hi, Gabby. As you probably heard, this is Gabby over here to my right. She's our
Hi.
special guest for this evening. We'll get to learn a little bit more about her here in a bit.
Yep.
Over here to my left, AJ.
Yo.
The man.
What's up? Keep it fierce, y'all.
This is AJ. I just read his cup. That's all I did.
That's right.
It says this is
literally
AJ.
says this is AJ on
That's
it.
very
It's a reminder so I remember who I
Yeah.
am.
It always faces him so he doesn't forget. But over here, behind the camera in a sense, the man who's probably going to cause us pain, emotional damage, and possibly physical damage here in a bit. Fun guy Austin. Or a certain artist depiction of Fun guy Austin.
You gotta
It's
show
really
that
good,
to you gotta show
Yeah.
that to everybody.
Yeah,
got-
can you
we-
show the camera?
You gotta show that. Gabby, thank you. Thank you.
I don't know who drew
That's-
this, but it's very accurate.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely
Even has
beautiful.
a little beard.
It
But-
is beautiful. Well done.
That is Fun guy
His
Austin.
glasses are the wrong shape, guys.
Sorry, it's
They're
that's
supposed
true.
to be
It's not
rectangular.
Fun guy.
These
It's
are-
not Fun guy.
These are circle glasses.
But there they are. Okay, so and then in the back, lurking it somewhere in the shadows, keeping the stream running so you guys stay informed on what's happening. Fun turn, Clint.
Hello, hello, hello.
There he is.
I was gonna say that smooth like jazz radio talk voice,
He kinda went different this
but
week.
he went different.
He did. He went different.
We're 2 minutes in and it's already beginning. If you guys have watched recently, I cannot speak like half the time, and it's not just on Real Talk. It happens in life. Like
Oh, yeah.
I just go.
I get it, man.
So it's gonna be interesting.
Words are hard.
But we talked about asking questions. How do you do that? You can drop them in the comments below at any time. We're keeping up with you guys on the book.
That's right.
I got you guys over on the Tube Crew,
To crew.
and you guys can ask questions.
That's right. man.
Or if you want to ask anonymously, you don't want us to know who you are because we can't find out who you are, you can go to our link at www.theremnant.life/real-talk.
Boom.
Real is REAL. And you can submit an anonymous question. There's a link in there. You can submit it.
That's
It goes
right.
into our database. We check it throughout the night, and it goes in instantaneously, anonymously. And you know what else, Gabby?
Instantly.
Instantly.
Yeah.
That's right.
True
Like
fan of
mashed
the show.
potatoes.
Just like mashed potatoes.
Those are
So-
so good. I love instant mashed potatoes.
I actually prefer real potatoes.
Lame.
Honestly,
But instant
me too.
potatoes are easy.
That's fair. But what is up, everyone? Hello, Willie.
Yo.
Sierra.
What's up, everybody?
Zeke. Who else we got?
Hey,
Who else
I
we
know
got
those
over?
people.
Some of those people.
We got Jordan on
Some
here,
of those people are
Fonda,
related
Jackie,
to me.
Kyla. We got a bunch of people in here. What's up, y'all? Carly.
Hey, hey,
Hello,
hey.
everybody.
Good
They
to
told
see ya.
my
Good to
mom
see
I
ya.
was on, so she
Thanks
might
for
be on.
joining the stream. And hey, you know what? While you're here, why don't you share it?
Share it.
Share the
You're
stream.
already here. You're already hanging out with us.
That's right. You're already hanging out.
Sharing is caring.
You know, that's wisdom right there. Sharing is caring.
Sharing
So
is
if you
caring.
care about us at all, you'll share the stream. Anyways.
And we'll keep an eye on who's sharing. We'll know who cares about us and who doesn't. We'll
Oh,
know. We'll
Zeke
know.
says they are driving to Tennessee and the data is spotty at best, so we aren't here for long. Well, appreciate you hopping on, Zeke.
Thanks. Alex is here too.
Hi,
Nice.
Alex.
Norman says he did the sharing thing.
Perfect.
Appreciate you. Norman.
Appreciate it. What up, Scott? Good to see you guys. Thank you
Hello,
all so
hello.
much for joining us. Here in just a few minutes, we're gonna get to the nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty.
We're gonna get into some questions. We're gonna learn a little bit about Gabby. You guys are gonna have an opportunity to win some cool stuff
That's right.
by
Really
answering
cool
questions. So you don't want to miss that.
You don't want to miss out.
Share it, invite your friends, because that's all we're doing. We're just hanging out. We're having a good time.
Yep.
We're about to probably suffer because we got a little bit of a sneak peek. We have forks. And Fun
This is a
Guy.
Fork of suffering.
It's the fork of suffering. And Fun Guy made sure to make it a point that Gabby over here may not actually have to do whatever this challenge is, which leads me even more to believe that it's going to be miserable.
Yep. Yeah,
He
goes,
says,
"Eh."
which means it's awful.
Yeah, it's true.
So go ahead, share your friends, watch us suffer.
That's right.
And then we'll get into the good stuff. But up first, it's time. AJ, what's it time for?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Real Random. Now, what is Real Random? It's where we do random things. It's issued by the guy over here, Fun Guy Austin. He comes with it every week. He's the mastermind. He is the genius behind the segment. We do random stuff for your entertainment. This week, Fun Guy, what are we doing?
Alrighty, everyone. This week is a special Real Random. This one's called What's for Dinner? You know, at home, I do a lot of the cooking because I enjoy it. And, you know, sometimes I ask myself, what's for dinner? And sometimes I like to get opinions and input on things. And what better way to figure out what or how spicy something should be without taste testers? So you guys get to decide to help me decide what's for dinner. And tonight, we are having chicken.
We're having chicken.
I like chicken.
I like chicken too, man.
So far, this has started off well. It's just a taste test of chicken.
That's right.
It
Just a
looks
taste.
like good chicken.
We are starting off with something simple, Chipotle chicken bites.
Chipotle chicken bites?
Nice.
I'm about to eat this whole bowl, bro.
Nice. They're even warm this time. Usually they're not.
Now I will say there are other stuff, so please go lightly.
I didn't
AJ, I'm looking at you.
That was directed at you. All right,
So go ahead and grab a chicken bite. We're going
So
to do
up first-
flavor and heat. Let me know what you
Flavor
guys
and
think.
Nice. So up first,
You're
Chipotle
supposed
chicken
to dip
bites.
them all together.
You smell delightful.
Yeah.
Think it. Sink it.
This chicken is wonderful.
Apologize for my chomping.
Oh, I was chomping into the mic. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, these chickens are wonderful.
These are pretty good. So
You should serve this for dinner, Austin.
yeah.
Let's see. I want to keep going.
Okay.
10 out of 10. This is
Well,
wonderful.
hang
you
on.
don't need to change anything.
So we got flavor and heat, right?
Flavor and heat. I'm gonna go with a 7 flavor. It's very good. I'm gonna go with like a 1 heat. Didn't feel any heat.
Yeah. The look that he just gave you when you said I didn't feel any heat.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that, AJ.
I'm gonna go flavor of about a 6, and heat again. Unfortunately, as much as that heat's like a 10, I can't take anymore. I don't know if I.
I'm dying.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that, Blake.
No, I'm gonna say the heat's like a 1.
Mm-hmm. Jane?
Well, I'll give the flavor an 8, but it could
Wow.
just be because I'm really hungry.
That's it.
And the heat is only like a 1 go.
Put an asterisk next to that 8.
It's delicious.
Now, I will say, sometimes I like things with a little extra spice. So we're going to add in some buffalo sauce.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So we got Chipotle chicken with a little bit of buffalo sauce.
There's
Okay.
no way you can reach
I'll-
that, so
I'll
let
move
me-
this here
let me
for a
move
Gabby, at any point, you can stop. The guys, keep going.
that. Okay.
Okay.
So we
Nice.
got-
She going for it?
Yeah, we'll try some buffalo sauce. It
Nice.
can't be that scary, right?
I'm only upset we don't have ranch, not because of the spice, but I enjoy ranch with my
With your chicken.
sauce chicken.
Are we digging?
Here we go. Here we go. Mm.
That's spicier.
Mm-hmm.
So go with the flavor.
Is that just straight buffalo? It must be the chipotle it's like messing with. It didn't taste like just buffalo.
It's very vinegary.
This is still very good. I'm going to give it another 7 flavor. It's delightful. I'm going to give it a 2 heat. It was just a mild kick in my mouth.
I enjoy a good. Thank you,
I hate
Sierra.
being
Ranch is.
honest.
I get made fun of because I put ranch on like my barbecue wings and stuff. It's not because of the heat. It's because I enjoy the flavor of ranch on those. But
I'm
anyways,
pretty sure that Sierra drinks ranch when you're not looking.
Oh my god! I literally just had that image flash in my head. She had like a little
chugging
gallon.
and just chugging it.
She goes through so much ranch.
You know who else loves ranch?
Hmm.
Mad Max.
Mad Max loves ranch. You're right.
Mad Max.
Who's Mad Max?
Balfour.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I like that we have multiple layers of names we can go by for people.
But okay. Flavor, I'm gonna go slightly up. It was very vinegary, but there
Yeah.
was a bit of a buttery, which I enjoy a buttery buffalo.
Mm.
So I'm gonna go 7 flavor and 3 heat.
Okay.
There's a bit of a kick.
I'm gonna say it's 6 flavor because I don't like vinegar flavored things.
Fair enough.
But only at 2 heat.
2 heat, nice. Jane's on my level. I like it.
I'm a big baby.
All right, guys.
I'm a baby.
Sometimes with heat, you got to go a little bit southern.
gosh.
So we are going with some Nashville hot.
Nashville hot. Okay.
Nashville hot. Oh boy.
Okay.
So this
Nashville hot.
Sierra says I'm not quite that obsessed, but
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a
you
lot.
put
of
ranch on your spaghetti?
That's wild.
That was Norman. Norman says you put ranch.
Well, Norman is weird. Okay, let's just
Mm.
get that out there.
This
That's-
smells really good.
Now, typically with Nashville hot
I
stuff,
don't know if I've ever had it.
it's going to kick you in the back of the throat. It's going to be pretty sweet. It's going to be a little smoky, and it's going to kick you in the back of the throat. Typically.
Nice. Zeke says, "Hey, we're almost to Nashville. This is for
Nice.
you."
Hey,
Heffel fingers, including the one here.
All right, so we got Nashville hot sauce and some Chipotle chicken.
This is delightful.
That was incredible.
this is the best hot sauce I've had so far.
That's super good.
That was phenomenal.
I'm giving that an 8 flavor.
Yeah,
That's going to step up from a 7 to an 8, and I'm still going to give it only like a 2 heat because I don't really feel anything still.
that was less hot than the last
Yeah,
one.
I agree. So I'm going 9 flavor.
Wow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nine.
It's
That
good.
was
9 flavor. That's crazy.
9 flavor, 2 heat. It step down from the other.
I'm gonna go 9 flavor, 1 heat.
Nice.
It wasn't hot, but it is delicious.
But it is delicious. Look, she's like,
It is.
she's like, I want more now. she got ready. She's like, ugh.
I was gonna see my chicken in there.
I also eat my biscuits and gravy with grape jelly. Okay, now I've heard of this.
Yeah,
I've never put
Interesting.
grape jelly on my biscuits and gravy, but I've heard of this.
I've never eaten it, but
Evil.
it makes sense.
Funturn says evil.
And then Zeke says Alex loves ranch on everything, so no judgment. But
It's true. She
the
does.
grape jelly on biscuits and gravy does deserve judgment. I agree, Zeke. All right.
What's next,
Fun
fun
guy?
guy?
You know, sometimes with heat, you got to add a little bit of fruit in there to make the pepper not as bad. So this is mango habanero.
Ooh, mango
Sounds good.
habanero.
So mango habanero can go one of 2 ways.
Yeah, this can either be pretty spicy
Okay.
or it'll be like
AJ?
sweet.
Since you said the less was kind of less heat, make sure you soak your chicken in that one.
All right.
My chicken's kind of falling apart. I'm just gonna remove that bit.
All right.
Oh,
I
boy.
have soaked my chicken.
You went hardcore, my friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna give it a good
hurry.
doubt.
Hurry,
Please don't get anything on the table.
Oh,
hurry.
gosh. All right.
I'm-
Well,
I'm going in
we're
circles.
just gonna go for it. Here we go.
All right.
That's what you get for mocking me.
It's
Yep.
not necessarily like overly spicy, but it also just doesn't taste that good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not a good flavor.
Yeah.
That is not pleasant. It tastes like
It
petroleum.
haunts my dreams. This
The
flavor.
thing, actually,
Yes.
that's surprisingly accurate. Because I don't like peppers because they taste like dirt. So when
Yeah.
you add them into something, a lot of times you get a weird, like oily, dirty.
Yeah.
Taste.
It's not pleasant.
So heat and taste.
I'm gonna go with like a fort flavor.
Yeah. It's
It
not
went
good.
down wrong too, which didn't help.
Burning the lungs.
For flavor, I'm gonna up this to I'll say a 5 heat. 5 heat's pretty decent.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
My scale's a little bit different than yours, clearly, because I haven't done like the Pocky one chip and everything. But
Yeah.
flavor, yeah, I'm giving it a 3. I didn't like
not
it.
very good.
And heat, I'm probably gonna go 6.
Mm.
I'm gonna go 2 for flavor because I did not enjoy that. And probably a 6 for heat.
6 for heat. Oh, you're getting
Yeah.
there, Jane.
Yeah,
You're
that one
getting
was
there.
much spicier. Well,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
compare it to the last ones, it's very spicy.
Oh,
But still,
big,
yeah, comparatively,
big
that,
jump.
there's
for
a big
sure.
jump.
Yeah.
All right. So sometimes when you're cooking in the kitchen, things just kind of go wrong, and then you just kind of dump it all together. So here's a
Oh.
combination of every single sauce.
Nice. All right.
I
Thank you,
got you,
Jane.
fam.
You gonna try it?
Oh yeah.
Nice. Jane is just all in.
Well, none of them were like so hot they were unbearable. So
Good.
So again,
Altogether-
so we've
She's
done
getting cocky, dude.
we've done stuff like this before.
so you're telling me it gets worse if you mix them all together?
Sometimes, but there's
Okay.
also been times we've mixed the hottest stuff with like other hot stuff, and it made it less hot.
That's true.
Okay.
So
Did you taste test all these? Nice.
This could go either way. So we have a combination
Okay.
of buffalo sauce, Nashville hot mango habanero, and the chipotle on the chicken.
All right.
So we got a nice little combination of stuff here.
All
So
right.
It looks pretty.
Cheers,
here
friends.
we go.
Tink. It's not pleasant.
No.
Still
Bas-
tastes like petroleum.
basically, I got a little bit of that with just a lot of vinegar.
Yeah, it's not good.
Now,
Yep, the vinegar. You're right.
I will say it tastes better than just the mango habanero.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a
Ooh,
3 flavor.
That came late.
Has a little kick.
That
Yeah,
came late.
the kick comes later. You're right. 3 flavor, 4 heat.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 3 flavor, 5 heat.
Yeah, 3 flavor, 4 heat.
Nice, Gene.
It's not good.
It's not good.
It's better than the last one, but it's not good.
Agreed.
Is that the last one?
That's the last one. So,
Perfect.
what's for dinner, guys?
Go with the Nashville. That one was
Yeah.
Oh,
delicious.
Nashville.
Nashville for
Nashville.
sure.
Nashville is what's
Nashville
for
for
dinner.
sure.
Good.
And if you need someone to help you decide in the future, you need someone to help eat it. Let me know.
Yeah, if you just want me to eat these little chicken bites, you didn't want these back, did you? It's good. There aren't going to be any.
Best part about making this is I have extra.
Nice.
He shaves them for himself. All right, well,
That was what's for dinner with Fun Guy Austin for
That's
our real
right.
random.
that was a good
Well done.
segment.
Yep.
All right.
We'll take that out of our way because we don't want that, but we will. Oh boy, we
You
lost.
broke everything.
It's a disaster.
Oh
What have
no!
you done?
I can't
Oh,
wait
it's
to
okay.
see.
The little adapter just came unplugged.
Yeah,
Wow,
Nice.
just plunged us into the dark ages.
Plunges into the dark ages, and we're back.
And there it is. All right. So that was real random, guys. This week it wasn't too bad.
No, man.
That was pretty fun.
I got a little worried. Don't lie.
Yeah.
The mango habanero had me worried for a second that
'cause
we were gonna go hotter.
I thought there was going to be another step, and I was concerned.
Oh yeah.
But
Me too.
overall, not too bad.
Nope,
So
not bad. Hello, Jenny.
all right, cool.
Is that my mom?
I think so. Jenny Heffelfinger.
Yeah, it's my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hey, mom.
Nice.
You can borrow my mom if you need
So
one.
we're gonna go ahead and move on past that horrible disappointment, and we're going to go into our next segment where you guys get an opportunity to answer a question that we ask you, and then win a prize.
Yes.
Yay, prizes.
That is Remnant Roulette. Anyway, so we're about to ask a question. You guys are gonna have 5 minutes from the time we ask to answer the question, and then you'll be added into our database where Fun Turn is going to draw a random winner. And then at 9:45, we're going to announce that. So you have to be on
That's right.
when we announce the winner. You have
And-
2 minutes once we announce the winner to say you're here.
And I actually this week, Fun Turn, I'm gonna have the question.
Nice.
So you're gonna have to type this one in,
Oh boy.
because
Audible.
that's right. We're throwing an audible.
Omaha.
This week's Remnant Roulette question is: if you could be any kind of superhero, what would it be? Any kind of superhero. So, kind of like, let's go with like, what would be your name and your power?
Interesting. Okay, so name and power.
Yeah, what is your name and power?
Superhero name and power.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are you looking at me first?
No, I was
I just so
looking-
happen to look
Um,
over
You
at
just
you.
okay.
happened to be
No,
staring
no,
at me
yeah,
while you're
I
asking
just
the question,
happened to
and I was
look.
like, okay.
Jane's
So-
like, this is
Wait,
way
you
too
want
deep
me-
of a question
Well, hold on.
for me to answer
So
right
you,
now.
you guys have until 9 o'clock to
9 o'clock.
answer what your superhero name and superhero power would be. I guess I'll start. So I have 2 schools of thought here, right?
Mhm.
Because one is the superhero I created for Superhero RPG,
Oh yeah.
right? And I've created him twice for different systems.
which we will be playing.
But his name is Stormshot.
Stormshot.
I don't know if there's superhero nerds out there, but essentially think of Gambit, okay? But with a revolver.
Ooh.
All right, I can
So
see it.
that's kind of like the overall thing, right? Like he's able to do different things with his revolver and stuff. So
Nice.
So there's that. However, when it comes to the superpower I'd want most,
Mm-hmm.
it's an odd one. I feel like not a lot of people pick it, but luck,
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
being super lucky.
It would be fun. It would be an interesting, like.
Because imagine it, you throw a rock at the villain and it just so happens to like hit his temple and knock him out.
Yeah.
Like you're
Oh, yeah.
you're falling from like a 50-story building. Just so happens like a pillow truck falls on like drives underneath of you.
Yep.
You're just constantly always lucky. What would the name be for that?
I was trying to think of Clover, man. I don't know.
Luck guy.
Lucky, Mr. Lucky.
I'm trying to think.
Lucky
know.
Charms.
Because I would think like dice, but I don't know what game.
Because
what name?
my mind went to like roulette.
Oh yeah.
So like I would probably do like a dark red and black type of like
yeah.
costume.
Nice.
Hold on the name. I'll see if I can come up with something.
Yeah.
But
Zeke says, "Nap man, the ability to nap anytime or make other people take naps."
that would be spectacular.
Actually,
I'm not gonna lie.
the making other people take naps would be a great de-escalation type tactic. So like
Damn.
bad guy. Okay, never mind. You're napping. It would be so easy to catch
I'm
him.
going to butcher Denise's name, so I'm gonna let somebody else try to enunciate
All right,
that.
let's see.
I'm gonna butcher it bad.
Expedenies?
That's I don't know.
Expedenies?
Denise, you need to let us know if we
Yeah, did
Can we have a pronunciation guide?
Yeah, please.
Alex says her name would be Firefly and her power would be her butt lights up and she can fly. That's
Nice.
ridiculous.
It's amazing.
That's
love it.
ridiculous. I'm trying to think of mine, man.
Yeah, I again don't have a great name, but I want the ability to like touch things and know everything about it.
Oh, that'd be
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, like legend lore,
Yeah,
but,
just,
as a real
but
person.
real
Nice.
person.
Yeah.
You just call
That's pretty
yourself
cool.
like the lore master.
Yeah, yeah. You could have a really fun like
Lore Masters Galaxy.
Yeah.
That's a
good.
throwback
Listen,
episode of Real
I
Talk.
know. Scott says Superman because he can fly. So Scott just wants to be able to fly.
Nice.
Oh, Expendenies.
Expendenies.
There
Okay.
you go. Let's see. Sunflower Plower. Nice. Oh, did you guys already read that one? Oh, nice. I couldn't remember if we read that one. Sunflower Plower, my superpower would be to be able to understand any book without reading it and only by touch. Nice.
Nice.
That's kind of similar to yours.
We're gonna
Yeah.
know everything between the two of us.
That's right. Man, what would mine be? I'm trying to think of a name, because I already had the idea because I thought of this a long time ago, but I would gain power by sleep. So the more I sleep, the more powerful I become.
Interesting.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So then all that your enemies would have to do to defeat you is make sure you never sleep again.
True.
Yeah,
That's right. I
'cause you
become
get
very
really
weak.
weak.
The longer I go without sleep, the weaker I get.
Okay. I like it because it has a built-in flaw, and that's fun
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
actually use as a writer. You know.
I think I'd call myself something about snooze. Snooze keeps coming to my mind.
Snooze.
Snooze something, or like Mr. Snooze.
What's up, John? Thanks for hopping on, dude.
What's up, John? Thanks for hopping on, even though you're at work. Me and H would make a great duo. We would, Zeke. We would make a great duo.
Denise says,
Oh, he makes you nap, and then
and then you just
And
become
then I
all
power up.
powerful.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's nice. That's
best,
awesome.
best power ever.
Willie says Electroman. He fixes anything with electricity.
Yes, electric
That would be
man.
really useful, actually.
Oh, absolutely. Mr. Clean, do you think he's considered a superhero?
Mr.
He
Clean.
does make things really clean.
It's true.
Is he
He might be a
considered?
superhero.
Is he considered
He,
a?
he has the physique for it.
does.
I feel like Are you guys,
I
is
also-
Mr. Clean a superhero?
I also
Dude.
don't know if he's ever aged.
It's
That's
true.
what I'm saying, man. I think
He's
he's a superhero.
He's an immortal superhero.
Interesting. That actually, I'd.
Somebody Google this.
Yeah.
Okay? tell us what you find.
Fun,
Thanks, Clint.
fun turns on.
Fun turns on it.
I mean, fun turn.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, last chance to get your guys' superhero names and powers in.
Yes.
Very last chance here, and Denise had an autocorrect. So X-Speed and Knees.
Okay.
Expedenies.
Expedenies.
That's really fun to say.
And she's just a teleporter.
Nice. I like it. It does make sense.
It's cool.
Teleportation would be
So,
fun, but I feel like I would get really lazy.
Apologies if
Like,
I lose my
really
voice.
Yeah.
The longer I speak, I might lose my voice more. So just apologize ahead of time.
Timeless. Nice.
Nice.
All right. Well, thank you guys for answering that.
That was Remnant to Roulette.
That was Remnant Roulette. Guys, stick around. 9:45. We're going to draw the winner.
That's right. 9:45.
And you
y'all.
have 2 minutes once we announce the winner, so you have to be
2.
on at 9:45 in order to win.
Not draw them like Austin's picture, just draw them as
Yeah.
dictated.
Like
Yeah.
randomly choose.
Although
draw.
it would be more fun if we drew a stick figure and then they had to guess who it was.
Who it was. Actually, that's incredible.
Austin, can
Oh,
you get
no.
on that, please?
Oh no.
John says, "Hand man, I can hit a volleyball speed of light." Yes, John. Yes, John. That's incredible.
That's amazing.
You win. You win. He's not.
Okay. Fun turn Senate. Oh gosh, Mr. Clean was an ultraviolet. Okay, so the actual Mr. Clean was actually in the X-Men. He was an violent opponent
Oh,
of the X-Men.
What?
you're telling
So-
me Mr. Clean is the bad guy?
So he's a super villain.
What?
Ultimate heel turn.
Wow.
Okay.
Now,
Mr.
hold on.
Clean.
Now, are we sure this is the same Mr. Clean as the cleaning supplies?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, honestly, but this is the first thing that popped up. He was
More
a part
research.
of the Church of Humanity, by the way, too. But that's a
up,
part
Isaac?
thing. I'll keep looking.
What's up, dude?
But I don't know. Maybe he had a turn,
Maybe.
a turn back in the day.
That's still.
The X-Men
All right.
turned him on the life of cleaning.
And I'm now envisioning a superhero world where it's all just the mascots for popular brands.
Yes.
So you have like Tony the
Stay Puft
Tiger,
Yep.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, Mr.
Oh, man.
Clean, and they just have their own superhero gang.
That's incredible.
Anyways,
Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch. Yes, that's my
Xavier had an evil twin apparently, and it was Mr. Clean.
They do look very similar.
It was Mr. Clean.
It was, yeah. Anyways, so that was Remnant Roulette, and now it's time to move on. I promised you all you'd have an opportunity to learn a little bit more about Gabby over here.
That's right.
So it's time to get to know Gabby.
Gabby. Now, before we actually go into the segment, for anybody who is watching, whether it's on the Tube Crew or from the book Nook, you guys can throw in any question you like, anything you want to know about Gabby over here. You can ask it now, and we'll go ahead and ask her while we're going. But while we let you, we're going to buy you guys some time. And we're going to go ahead and, Gabby, why don't you tell the crowd about yourself a little bit?
Okay.
You can tell them how long you've been coming to church for, what do you do, social security number. You know how it goes.
Okay.
Banking information, all that.
Banking information
Yeah.
right here on live Facebook.
Yep.
Let's see. I've been at the Remnant for 5 years.
Okay.
I work in a factory. It's really boring.
That's really boring.
It really is. It's very boring. I'm a college student. I'm in school for mental health counseling. I bought a house last year. That's something.
It's exciting.
I have a giant fluffy dog that lives in my house, which is even more exciting than the house itself.
What's his name?
His name is Maverick.
Oh,
I never
Nice.
actually call him that though.
what do you call him?
I usually call him Mav or Bub.
I
or
had a
Big
cat named
Fluffy
Maverick.
Jerk.
Big fluffy jerk.
Yeah.
Big
yeah.
fluffy
Big
jerk.
fluffy jerk.
Get over here,
That's
you big
pretty good.
fluffy jerk.
Yeah, and he comes every time. It's great.
He's like, I understand this. I know what my name is.
So you've been in the church for 5 years. You're involved in a lot. What all do you do? What ministries are you involved in?
Let's see. I'm cleaning team, youth team, kids church, greeting, and production.
Wow.
Nice.
If I didn't miss any.
So you do a lot.
Apologies.
You wear a lot of hats for the
Yeah.
church.
Yeah.
Thank you for serving. I know that's one thing, man, about a lot of the guests we have on the show, man. They're just so plugged in, and like it's really cool because you get to see like that sense of community that comes along with serving. So I appreciate you serving, Gabby,
Yeah.
in so many different aspects. It's really cool.
It's awesome.
We see you.
Thanks.
Now, Maverick is awesome. Oh, nice. Norm's
It's true.
shout out to
It's
your dog.
true. Maverick loves the Jacksons. He goes and visits them sometimes, and they come visit him.
Nice. And we have our first question
Okay.
from the Book Nook.
Okay.
Denise asks, "What socks are you wearing?"
Oh, I'm
You-
so excited. I'm so excited.
We talked
I
about
can't-
this.
I can't wait to show you my socks. I really hope that you can see them and you can read the bottom because it's really, really important, guys.
Oh wow.
Nice. So we got looks like coffee cups and donuts and.
I see. Yeah, I see a bunch of stuff
Can
over
you
there.
see them?
We'll,
I
we'll,
need you to know.
I guess
see,
we'll see on the
we'll see
playback
here in a second.
Okay.
There's a slight delay.
Okay.
Oh.
There's the
Yeah,
adjustment.
yeah, I can see it.
And the
in
lift?
screen. Okay, can you read them? Guys, if you can read them, I need you to tell me what they say. on the
Oh,
bottom.
You're
gosh,
so
it
close.
just-
It
it
just
just
cut
cut.
off on the
Oh,
bottom.
gosh. Okay, so I got to do it again. That actually did really hurt the first time. Here you
Jane
go.
is adamant about
Alright.
seeing
Here you
these.
Nice.
I
Oh,
just get
yep,
up on it.
perfect.
I need you
Perfect.
to read these socks,
All right.
guys.
She needs
So-
you guys to read.
Okay. It's very important that you read them.
So clearly, Gabby is also a lover of nice, fancy socks and coffee
Oh,
as
yes.
My sister bought them for me
Okay.
well. All right. So what?
for Christmas.
If
It's
you
really
can
important.
read this, bring me some coffee.
That's amazing.
So-
That's really what I wanted to tell you.
Now Sunday's gonna roll around. You have so
And
much
I'm gonna have
coffee.
so
People
much
are just
coffee.
gonna-
I'm so
You'd
excited.
be so happy.
It's awesome. Cool. And Scott says, "Hey, Olivia really likes Gabby."
Oh,
I
awesome.
really like Olivia, so
Yes, Olivia's awesome.
it's mutual friendship.
It's mutual.
Awesome. So,
Now, while we wait for some more incoming questions, I have a couple for you,
Okay.
Gabby. I'm so used to calling you by your other name that it's weird calling you Gabby.
I know, because I always call you Arthur, and then
Uh-huh.
it's just weird. This is.
I know. we got to play the game right now.
Gotta be professional.
That's right. We got to play the game. What is a risk that you are happy you took? That's a good one.
This is a good question.
Mhm.
Probably going to school.
Nice.
Like, I was not sure that I would end up liking it, but that's something that I felt called to do. So, it's been hard, but
Mhm.
like, I'm glad that I did it.
What made you want to go into that field?
There was a lot of contributing factors. I've always been a mentor for like kids younger than me.
Yeah.
So that started when I was like 13. I was mentoring girls, and I remember I had a couple of girls, and one of them, her parents were going through a divorce,
Mm-hmm.
which wasn't common in the church as much because
Yeah.
I was with church groups a lot. And like you could tell she was really struggling, but didn't have anyone to talk to about it because her parents were kind of in the middle, and they were both mad at each other and playing games. And they would always put those girls in my group because they labeled them like problem children.
Huh.
And so I never viewed them as problems, so I kept inviting them into my group. So I had all of the really rowdy kids, all of the kids that like nobody else wanted to deal with because they didn't know how to deal with it. So I just remember like back then like journaling about, God, I just need a way to like help these kids. Like I need a
Yeah.
way to like fix this for them. So like that was one of the things that like led to that. Then later on, I got an opportunity to serve with kids in the foster care network. So I do that for 1 week out of the summer, and that really changed my perspective on like how we can help kids and what like you can do different for them. So
It's super cool.
It's awesome.
I love that. And it's funny hearing you talk about like you taking in these girls that maybe like some other like they didn't want to deal with them, right? And it's so funny that you ended up at the Remnant because we're kind of weird.
yeah, that's
If anybody
people.
has come to our church, anybody watching, you'll notice that we are just a bunch of people that kind of seem like they wouldn't blend together, but we do.
But we do.
So it's so cool. So it's funny that you ended up with that kind of background. You ended up here. So that's wild. I think God knew what He was doing.
Yeah,
That's really
definitely.
cool.
And it's very helpful to have you as a leader for youth group too, because of that. Because there are a lot of kids that are interesting kids.
Oh yeah.
And it's cool. Everyone has a passion for the kids there, but it's cool to have someone that has that specific type of background and experience to help with that.
Yeah.
So it's really cool, and it is a blessing to have you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Next question, Jane.
Okay.
What is one weird habit you have?
Oh gosh, I have so many weird habits.
You can name more than one if you'd like.
I sing about everything, literally constantly, and I live by myself now, so it's gotten so much worse. I talk to myself constantly. I sing about everything. It's just weird, guys. If you were to ever like see me just driving down the road, you'll notice that I never stop talking or singing the entire time.
What is it that you sing about?
Oh, everything.
Literally just anything.
Just literally
The activity
anything.
you're doing.
Yeah.
The thoughts in your head. You just sing it all.
Just anything. And
Yeah,
everything.
it's really weird, guys. It's legitimately really weird.
That's okay though, because I find myself singing a lot too.
Oh,
Except it's usually not my thoughts. It's usually not
Well,
my
it's
thoughts.
also whatever song goes with the thoughts that
There
I'm
you
thinking.
go.
So
Oh,
like
nice.
that happens a lot too. But no, I think that somebody walked in on me one time while I was scrubbing the toilets, and I was singing to the toilet. And I was like, "Are you talking to yourself?" And I was like, yeah. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Right, you caught me.
Just singing to the toilet. Don't mind me.
And then I got mad because we got these different toilet brushes, and they don't make scrubby noises because they're like rubber and not actually scrubby. So then they don't make a good background noise for you to sing to. It makes me so mad.
Natural bard.
That's
That's
right.
what you are.
It's true.
Oh man. Nice. Jenny says, "Does Mav enjoy coffee socks?"
Mav likes to take my socks and leave them in the rain. He takes them out of the clean laundry bucket. He places them in my backyard, and he just leaves them out in the rain right before it rains every time.
It's uncanny.
That's why he's
So
the
if-
big
so if-
fluffy jerk. That's
if you see him grabbing your socks, you know it's about to rain.
well, I don't ever see him because I don't see him take the socks because he does it while I'm at work, and I just come home and my socks are out in the rain again. Yeah, freak.
And then Denise would like to know: are you saying we are the problem children?
I'm not saying you were the problem children. Blake said that.
Oh.
I didn't say that.
He implied it.
Denise's question. I'm just repeating it.
Swish slosh. I can imagine it. Nice.
And the interesting part about you always singing is I have found that I am very receptive to random songs.
Yes.
Oh, me too.
So
man.
she will. So like when we play D&D or something, she'll be singing something under her breath, and then like 5 minutes later, I'm singing it,
And then AJ starts
and
singing.
then AJ starts
It's
singing it,
really
and it
great.
just works around the room.
It's a
and
vicious
it's
cycle,
spectacular.
man.
It's
but-
hilarious because then I make fun of them for it, but I always start it.
But, man, you are just truly,
It's-
I am cruel.
truly chaotic neutral. You, some might say evil. I'm just kidding.
I would say chaotic, definitely.
To
One
say
of
the
those is
least.
true.
At the very least, it's chaotic.
and Scott says Gabby needs a cat.
Mm.
I don't have enough room in my house for me, my dog, and a cat. It's too small.
Your dog is pretty big.
My
It's-
dog
it's
is
big.
really
It's
huge.
big
He's
dog.
a really big
Mhm.
guy.
Yeah, it's a big wolf. Big woofer.
Yeah.
All right. AJ, what else you got for her?
Next question. Gabby. I almost called you by your other name. I'm so used to it. What are 3 things that you completely believe about God?
Oh, okay. This is a good question.
Yes.
Completely believe that he's good.
Mm-hmm.
That he's not going to he's not out to get me, right? Like he's out for my good. And that's one thing. I think that's one solid thought. So I got 2 more.
Okay. I was honestly thinking it was going to count as 2, but
Oh, you want to count it as 2?
I mean,
I'm
sure.
okay with that. What else? I do believe that like he is patient. Like he wants to save everyone, so he's waiting.
That's really good. And to continue on that note, was there a time you could actively see God answering a prayer?
Actually, earlier this year, so for those of you that don't know, I crashed my car into a deer, like at the beginning of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I pretty much spent my entire savings trying to fix my car. And there was this trip I really, really wanted to go on with my school, like later in the fall, and I just didn't have money for it. But randomly, out of the blue, I got a $3,000 check from my school as a refund. And then I
That's
got
wild.
$3,000 in tax return, and then I got a $900 bonus from work. So I was like, I guess I'll go.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
can do this now.
Yeah.
That
That's really
is
cool.
actually wild.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
And so I'd imagine, like, during that time, like, were you more panicked about, like, trying to fix your car? So, like, were you praying about, like, the combination of, like, oh, I can need my car
yeah.
fixed, and then you,
Yeah.
like, also, so did you also pray about wanting to go on this trip, too?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
which
so-
was
that's so
just
cool.
One of those crazy things that
Yeah.
it was more than enough to cover all of it.
That's so awesome. God is good, man. That's super cool.
Hey, good night, Scott, and appreciate you, brother. Thanks for doing that.
Nice, Scott. Thanks for hopping on, dude. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Get to Know with Gabby.
Gabby. Cool. And you know the cool thing about you too, I didn't want to talk about this because we mentioned all the things you serve on, right?
Yeah.
You are one of the people that like you always bring joy and happiness into a room. Like I don't know if I've ever seen Gabby like have a like truly bad day. Like even when you're having a bad day, like you're still able to choose joy and live out of it, which is really cool.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially in the ministries you help in. Like with kids and youth, and you know you're on connection team, even cleaning toilets, like that could be something you could easily just come in and be like, ugh. But you're always very just joyful about it. So it's cool to see that.
Thanks.
Nice. Well done, Blake.
Hey, thanks.
He goes, I stumped him. He's like, I don't know what to say here. Now, I have a proposal.
Okay.
What do we got?
Last week, we didn't get to do one of our favorite segments.
Okay.
So I think we should do one of our favorite segments.
Okay.
Overrated, underrated.
I think we should do
All
overrated,
right.
underrated.
I'm so excited.
Yep. This is Blake's all-time fave because
Also,
you're going into this blind.
I haven't looked.
That's what I love about
I
it.
do not look at the overrated, underrated items until I describe them.
There's one chicken left for each of you. Just thought you should know.
I've been cut off from the chicken. I can't.
The mic is too powerful. But all right, so we're gonna go into overrated, underrated, and then guys stick around because we are gonna answer some questions. Do you want to see if we got any anonymous questions?
Sure. Absolutely.
So if you guys have anything, you can slip them in the comments. You can post.
Yeah.
It happened. It happened.
Okay?
I don't know. You can slip your questions in the comments, and we'll keep an eye on them, and we'll ask them. Or you can ask them anonymously, and we'll answer them there as well. We got any before we head overrated, underrated?
Oh, so we have 3 total, but 2 of them are actually from First Kings, and we were talking about that in our last episode of the podcast.
Nice.
So I think we're going to save those for the podcast.
Okay.
So whoever asked that question about First Kings, we'll probably dive into that this upcoming episode of Real Talk web
There you go.
series. But we do have one,
Okay.
and this is more of a statement than anything. It says, "I want to be on Real Talk, but you never invite me. Sadness."
Well, if you anonymously, we don't know who you are.
Yeah,
so you're gonna have to contact them directly.
I'm assuming they didn't put a name. or
No,
anything.
no, there was no sign
We
off
don't
on
know who
this.
you are.
Yeah.
So
The
if,
best part is,
if you are interested in being on, come and let us know. We
Yeah.
can't promise you'll be on or when it'll
Sure.
be or anything like that. But if you are interested, we'd like to know that.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, why don't you shoot in another message and let us know who you are?
yeah. But awesome, cool. And then, like AJ said, if you're one of the people that asked the question about the First Kings,
Mm-hmm.
they talked about it last week on the pre-recorded, and they'll
Yep.
re-hit on it again.
That's right.
This coming episode due to the questions. So stay
right.
tuned. It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Cool. Well, and you guys are gonna want to stick around because we have some awesome articles to talk
Oh,
about.
absolutely, man.
Some pretty interesting stuff to talk
Oh,
about in Real
yeah.
News, Real Views. So
That's right.
go ahead and share. Continue to share. Fun turn. How many shares we got?
Whoa,
7 shares.
7.
that's more than
disappointing.
0. I'm proud of you guys.
We went different routes. She was like, "Yeah, that's a good job." I was like, "Yeah, it's disappointing."
she balances this out. This is why
So
this is
if-
one of Jane's. It's one of Gabby's gifts.
This is why we need a delay on our thing so we can like bleep him when he said that, so like the people can't hear what he said.
That's
Yeah.
But
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
so cool. But we're gonna hit overrated, underrated, and then we have some articles in Real News, Real Views.
All right,
And
man.
You guys are gonna want to stick around for that. So go ahead and share with your friends
That's right.
and have them hop on. So here we go. Overrated, underrated.
Yes.
Up
Yes.
first. Oh gosh, I gotta find it. Where is it? See, I don't even know where it is.
That's a mystery.
It's a surprise
Found it.
every
Okay.
time.
Interesting.
I didn't know where it was either.
July 4th.
Okay.
Fireworks going off in the background.
Okay.
You get a little hungry.
Mm-hmm.
You go grab yourself a burger, a grilled
Mhm.
burger, a hot dog maybe.
Mm.
Basically, it's meat in a bun.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go over and you go, it needs a little something. Needs a little something. A little condiment. And there it is. That glorious yellow bottle.
Mm.
How do you guys feel about mustard?
Mustard. I'm going to tell you something right now.
It's actually true. This is a new development in your world.
Okay.
First off, I went a lot of my life without trying mustard.
Mm.
So I'm going to say this is severely underrated. Mustard's severely underrated. But the reason why it's severely underrated is because I went so much of my life eating hot dogs plain because I'm a weirdo that just recently I actually had hot dogs with ketchup and mustard on it. And I've lived 28 years of my life without doing this, and it makes me sad because it's so good. And yeah, so mustard, underrated.
Hmm.
Gabby?
Well, much like AJ, I went most of my life without ever really eating mustard because I thought that mustard was nasty. But then I realized that there is a whole other world of types of mustard. It's not just the weird yellow can. There's also Dijon mustard,
Mm-hmm.
which is delightful, and it tastes delicious in lots of different things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you add it to your macaroni and cheese in the recipe, in the sauce, when you make the sauce, that's the best kind of macaroni and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So it's severely underrated because I love macaroni and cheese. You have to put mustard in it.
That's wild.
I was not expecting that.
This has been a whole adventure. This has only been since I've been an adult that I discovered the secrets of mustard.
Secrets of
I-
mustard.
I'm gonna say severely overrated.
Dang.
Not a mustard guy.
What about honey mustard?
Ooh, honey mustard.
Now
is
see,
nice.
the overrated underrated is mustard, not honey mustard, not Dijon
By the
mustard.
letter of the law.
because I will say I think honey mustard. I honestly I even think honey mustard's overrated, even though I like it.
Ooh, I do like honey
Dijon I would say is underrated.
Yeah,
Mm.
I
It's
agree
good
with
mustard.
you there, but just plain mustard severely overrated.
Mm.
Mm.
However, good for stomach issues and acid
Well,
reflux
that's true.
and heartburn.
And
So,
everything.
Yeah, basically, it's essentially a miracle condiment.
But you're still rating it as overrated.
Overrated, yes.
Okay, it's a
Because-
miracle that's overrated. Miracles
Agreed.
are now overrated.
But yeah, if you ever have really bad heartburn, you don't have any Tums or anything, just go take a spoonful of mustard. It works.
Ugh.
Boom.
But Denise says underrated. It's good in small quantities.
Yes, very small quantities usually.
Willie says underrated. It is good.
Good.
Hot mustard. See, again, we're getting into other
there
stuff.
is a whole world of mustards out there to be tried, though. So
Now-
don't settle for one mustard, guys.
The local wing place
Mhm.
has a hot mustard that is, I believe it's like a Dijon mustard with like buffalo sauce.
Interesting.
It's amazing.
Huh.
Amazing.
I'll have to try that. It
I
actually sounds
never
pretty good.
order things that are spicy because I'm always afraid I won't like them.
It's fair. It's not overly spicy, so you might be okay. You
Mm.
might.
It's fair.
But moving on to the second one,
Number 2.
you just bought a house.
Okay.
All right. You're fancying it up. You got some furniture on the inside.
Mhm.
You got some wall decorations. The inside looks great. The outside, you got some nice shrubbery. You got some nice flower beds.
Okay.
The walkway coming up is clean and it's nice.
Mm.
But the door, it's just, there's something missing. There's something missing as people enter your home. And then you find it. Small little piece of fabric, sometimes an odd turfy type of material that just says, welcome.
Mm.
You lay it down. How do you guys feel about welcome mats?
Seriously underrated, guys. And then I had a really gross welcome mat for like the first year of owning a house, and it was nasty. And then it always got little pieces of welcome mat into my house. And then my mom bought me a new welcome mat. And let me tell you, it's glorious. It actually cleans your shoes off when you go to walk in the door. It's pretty fantastic.
You're so passionate about welcome mats.
Immediately, she's like, underrated.
Okay.
She-
It's only because I had an experience with my welcome
Where-
mat. Really recently. This just happened.
You understand the importance
Yeah.
of one.
Yeah, welcome mats are necessary, guys.
I'm going to go with overrated.
Oh,
Overrated.
why?
They just get in the way, man. You ever tripped over a welcome mat? It's annoying.
Yeah, but then your shoes are clean, so you
Mhm.
don't track mud in the house.
Overrated.
You're just gonna get mud in your house.
Listen,
You're gonna have to clean it up.
who said I have to clean it up? I'll just leave it.
Oh, good golly. and there lies the rub.
And
There lies.
don't go over to AJ's house; it's muddy. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna say underrated
Nice.
because also one, I don't like having to sweep mud up,
Yep.
but two, there is an entire section of welcome mats, of novelty welcome mats,
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
that just like,
Beautiful.
or you can also get ones that just say go away, which is probably what I'll have at my house someday.
Just says go
Oh.
away.
Just say turn around and leave.
Yes.
But no, I'm gonna say underrated.
All right.
Denise says I'd constantly be tripping. That's what mud rooms are for. Yeah, but then you got to clean up the mud room. You can't just
See,
let-
I'm with you, Denise. I'd be tripping too.
Willie says overrated, just a mud trap.
Well, that's what it's supposed to do.
That's the point.
That is the point of the welcome mat.
And they make welcome mats that are like weighted and like are
Yeah, yeah.
meant to like stick down.
I didn't expect Gabby to be so just heated over welcome mats.
This Jenny Heffelfinger,
Yeah,
if I'm saying that
okay.
correctly, says your welcome mat was gross.
It really was. It was there when I bought the house, and I just never wanted to touch it. That's why it sat there for so long. It's really nasty. It like fell all into pieces when we went to pick it up too. It was like
Oh.
it was gross.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
replace your welcome
A
mat every now
Roomba,
and again.
yeah, that's fair, but still, the chunks of mud just get too big. Anyways, so moving on.
Yes.
Topic number 3.
Yes.
First of all, I wasn't sure if this would ever happen again.
Oh.
I wasn't.
Okay.
We hit a point where I was like, this may never happen.
Okay.
But typically, it's filled with sunshine, sports,
Okay.
beach parties, even
Oh no.
Beach parties.
all sorts of fun stuff. But again, we've had a few warm days, but I don't know if it's coming.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about summer?
Summer.
Oh.
Nice. Yes. You know what, man? I agree. I don't know if summer's ever coming back.
Yeah. It's gone forever, guys.
Mm-hmm. Now, as far as beach parties go, I've been told I'm naturally well rounded with beach parties because I went to public school. so
Yes.
a little inside joke there.
Well,
According
it's
to
an outside joke because it's at the beach.
ooh,
Interesting.
nice, got me. Anyways, underrated. I love summertime. I used to like winter more than summer, but once I got older and I had to drive in the wintertime, I hate winter now. So yes, I'm gonna say underrated. You know, it's nice to be able to go out and you can go out in shorts, you can go out in jeans because it's usually comfortable either way. So you know, there's more of a variety in that, and you know what? There's just you can go out and do whatever you want. Really, it's nice and warm. You can go fishing. You can go play volleyball. You can go play basketball. You can do anything. It's nice.
It's true.
Underrated.
Once upon a time, I was like AJ, and I thought that winter was truly the best. And now I'm a grown-up, and I have to drive, and I hate being cold. And so I have to go with summer is definitely underrated.
Nice.
I like to be warm, but I don't like beach parties. Just thought
It makes sense.
Makes sense.
Makes sense
Yep.
for.
Yep. I wonder why.
Yep.
I hate getting sunburns,
No, that's fair.
and then sand on your
gets
sunburn
everywhere,
is
yeah.
just a bad combination.
Actually, that's fair.
It's really bad.
Block A.
I'm gonna say summer's perfectly rated.
Okay, all right. I didn't know that was an option.
Neither did I.
What does this
until
mean?
just now.
What does perfectly rated
Okay.
mean?
I think there's enough people on either side of the camp, and I could make an argument either way
Okay.
that it's just
Is it a summer
it's
camp?
good. It's good. It is perfectly rated. Is summer camp one of
Well,
them?
you said they were on either side of the camp. Is it the summer camp?
Yep. There's the summer camp and the non-summer camp.
Oh, okay.
She's Gabby's on it right now.
John says summer overrated but not overbearing.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm kind of there. Willie says overrated. I don't know. I think fall and spring are better. See, I'm kind of with Willie.
Mhm.
I'm more of a fall and spring guy.
Mm,
Like my perfect day is like a spring day where it's like high 60s, maybe
That's
70
true.
with
That
like
is really
with like
nice.
just a nice breeze.
Hmm.
Sun's out, nice breeze, and then you get
That's
into summer and it's like 99 and the
Yeah,
sun's
yeah,
out,
it's
and you're
kind
like,
of miserable.
that's true, actually. If I were to pick one, I'd probably pick spring too.
because
Yeah.
you can do everything you can do in summer in spring.
That's right.
The only issue is the rain sometimes. Is what
That's
we ran
true.
into. But I'm
But I also like
with Willie.
fall.
Fall's
It's
fall might be my favorite time of the year.
yeah.
Fall is nice too.
Fall colors are very pretty.
They are. Agreed.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Our fourth one.
Number 4. Oh no.
You have a thirst
Okay.
for something sudsy. Gabby, I might have lost you here.
Yeah, I'm out.
Something when you open the bottle, open the can.
Okay.
There's a little
Yeah.
All right.
a pop, a soda pop,
Okay.
or even in the South, as they call all of it, a Coke.
Okay.
However, it's been a while since you got paid, so
Mm.
you can't afford that name brand stuff.
All right.
You got to go with the Big K or the what are some of the other ones?
Mm.
I don't know.
There's several.
There's a lot. How do you guys feel about off-brand cola?
Mm.
Underrated severely. Off-brand cola is amazing.
Mm.
I love off-brand cola. It's one of my favorite things in the world. You guys ever had Bubba Cola?
No, I have
How did
not.
I know? Don't you know about
Apparently,
halfway-
it's good.
Anyways, I knew Bubba Cola was gonna come up.
I love Bubba Cola. Just as much as I love golf, just as much as I love almonds.
Yeah, man. Really love it, huh? Love them, man. I've seen this man smash almonds.
Hey, you'll be proud of me, man. I had a whole package of just regular almonds.
Was there other food options available?
It was the only thing
Nope.
there wasn't.
Okay. I rest my case. Anyways. Dad's root beer. Now that's
Dad's root beer is
Dad's
really
root beer is good. But Gabby, do you have any?
I don't like anything that's carbonated,
Yeah.
so it's completely overrated to me.
Ooh. Sad.
I'm
Makes me sad for you.
It's just it makes my tongue feel weird, and I don't like it.
It's such an interesting.
My tongue gets so uncomfortable, guys. I just can't do it. Can't handle it.
You can't handle it.
Oh boy. I'm gonna say underrated as well.
Underrated.
There are some really good off-brand
Absolutely.
colas out
Big
there.
K in itself's
Mhm.
really good. But yeah, Bubba.
And I have been and probably forever will be an RC cola guy.
Oh,
Like if you give me the choice of Coke, Pepsi, or RC,
RC.
RC all
RC's
day,
really
all
good too.
day.
I agree.
So let's see. Denise says Kroger brand underrated. I agree.
Oh
Kroger-
yeah, Kroger brand's
pretty
really good
good.
too.
underrated, but I'm used to the good stuff, says Sean. See, that's the issue. Big cola is taking over the market.
It's a monopoly.
Yeah.
What was that? I just heard a
I
giant.
think I thought somebody walked out.
Okay. He's like
Austin is
fun
waving his
guys going.
arms
It's
like
fine.
this.
It's fine.
I mean, fun guy.
It's okay.
That's his name here.
All right, man. We got what? One more.
We got the last one here.
Last one.
As a kid, you used to do this a lot of times. Go back to school. Well,
I didn't.
yeah. For me, it typically only happened twice a year, before summer and before school.
Okay.
You'd load up the car,
Mhm.
drive to the nearest big city,
Okay.
to the big clothing store,
Oh no.
and you'd go shopping for new clothes.
Mhm.
However, in today's age, you don't have to leave your house.
Yeah. Okay.
Amazon. Many companies will provide online shopping experiences. How do you guys feel about online clothes shopping?
Ooh, listen, man. This is a tough one because if you don't know if it's a new brand you're shopping for, you don't know if it's going to necessarily fit your regular size or not. You just don't know. But it is very mighty convenient. Underrated.
Okay, this is the part where I have to admit to you that I buy everything online. I legitimately hate shopping. I've gotten better as an adult in that I can now go shopping and it doesn't bother me quite as much as it did when I was a kid. But I have like a time limit. Like if I'm there for more than an hour or so, I'm so over it. And I like just can't do it. I like completely shut down. I'm like I can't do this anymore. So online shopping is where I buy everything.
There it is.
And I order subscription services that just automatically send clothes to my house so that I
Oh,
also
see, those
don't have to pick them out.
That's actually
And then you
spectacular.
just
I do
send
that.
in your measurements and
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
send you clothes.
Boom.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Nice.
Definitely online shopping is underrated.
Underrated. See, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I
You
know.
are.
I know. I am, yes.
Literally.
Really quick, though, I do need to go back to Willie's comment.
Okay.
He says underrated. Dr. Pibbs, really good.
Oh.
Willie.
However, Pib Extra. That's Pib Extra.
Dude,
Wait.
Pib is that's the goat, man. I
Okay,
love
so-
Pib.
But we're back here. Okay. John says hit and miss. Sounds overrated. Denise says underrated. So great when you're on a trip and you can get it delivered to your hotel. That's true too.
Huh? Interesting.
Now here's where
Never
I'm
thought
on,
about that.
here's where
You
I'm on the
can?
fence. I'm gonna walk you through my thought process.
Okay.
I also used to do what you did for a while.
Mhm.
I had a subscription that
Yep.
I put in all my preferences and sizes, and they would send me clothes.
Yeah.
And I kept a lot of them. I actually still wear a lot of it. However, it was very expensive.
Yes, that is a struggle.
That's the downfall.
The issue for me as well is I am my proportions are weird for a guy my size.
Mm.
So I have an issue online shopping
Mm,
because things never quite fit right.
I get. Yeah, makes sense,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
However,
That does make it hard.
anyone who has ever gone shopping with me knows how much of a pain I am to shop with. Because I am, one, very indecisive, and two, I expect if it doesn't fit perfect, I will not buy it. Like if I put it on and I'm a little uncomfortable, I'm like, it's not worth it, and I put it back no matter how good it looks. So online clothes shopping, I'm gonna say overrated,
Overrated. There it
just
is.
for the fact that I
Right.
can't do it.
That's the verdict.
There we go.
All right, man.
Willie says way overrated. I still do most of my shopping in person.
Mm.
Yeah.
I will say my favorite thing about shopping in person is taking along a friend and then trying to convince them to put on really ridiculous looking things.
Fair.
That is actually the
point.
best way to live. Or you take a friend to like a secondhand shop and then you try to pick each other outfits.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
also really fun.
Oh yeah.
But shopping with friends is different than just having to go shopping for things you actually need.
Mm.
That's the worst.
Now see, just online shopping in general,
Oh yeah,
I think it's probably still overrated, but it's very convenient
it is.
to
Yes.
be able to get anything you need online.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, online clothes shopping, very overrated.
Okay.
You did bring up an interesting point, and I've seen this, and I've always wanted to do it. Is get a group of friends together,
Mhm.
and you all you have like $5 or $10. You go
Oh,
to like
yeah.
a Goodwill or something
Yeah.
like that, and you
Mhm.
pick each other out an outfit for like
Yes.
less than $10.
Have done, can confirm,
That can,
is a blast.
that can get dicey real
It's
fast.
really fun. It
That
really
can
is. You
get-
just have to you have to take all your really good friends,
Yeah.
okay?
That they're not gonna make you like wear a tutu, but they're
Yeah,
still gonna
yeah.
make you look ridiculous.
Yeah, set
That's-
ground rules.
I did make my friend wear a leotard one time that was rainbow, and it was hilarious.
That's
We
amazing.
both were dying.
Awesome.
It was fantastic.
Well, that was overrated, underrated,
Overrated, underrated? Hope you enjoyed it.
finished, done,
did it.
completed. It's underrated that it's over.
Yeah, yeah.
It is a fun segment.
It's true. So we're gonna move on. Do we
That's
have
right.
some time to maybe hit on an article?
Snack.
Ooh, we can sure try. I'm going to check questions real quick.
All right, you check the questions while we're doing that. Hey, don't forget, you guys can submit a question anytime in the comments, or if you want to ask anonymously, you can go to our anonymous link at www.theremnant.life/real-talk. There should be a link in the description as well. You can click on that, submit a question, and those questions go in instantaneously, anonymously, and instantly.
Yeah.
So we can't find you. They come right in. We've had a few submitted already this show, and we answered the one.
Yep.
Somewhat, I think. It was more of a statement. But
Yeah, it's more of a statement.
but
yep.
we answered that one, and then the others, we were like, hey, we're going to talk about that on pre-recorded.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So,
It wasn't exactly
Awesome.
an answer.
So yeah, we got a few minutes before we announce our Remnant Roulette winners. So yeah, we can dive into one of our first articles we have. So both of the articles we have today, they're both relate. Like it's over the same topic, but they just kind of touch differently. This first article we have, the name of the article is Parents are upset over teacher's strict warning for rejecting LGBT ideology. So we're going to be covering what a lot of people would probably consider a hot button topic, or it would be considered a controversial topic. So there was a so this is from the Christian Post. Both of these articles are. So essentially, what happened is a teacher. I'm not really sure where.
it was in Britain.
It's in London.
Yeah.
That's right, London. So there was a recording that was released on social media of a teacher in London telling students they would be, quote, dealt with severely if they dared to reject LGBT teaching. So pretty wild. The incident occurred, and this kind of intrigued me. And also, so there was the incident occurred after a 14-year-old Muslim boy reportedly objected to viewing a video that affirmed children coming out as gay, lesbian, or bisexual because of his religious beliefs. From there, the teacher told the students, "Let me make this very clear. You don't have a choice whether or not you learn about LGBT plus in the school. You don't have a choice. It's one of our values, and if you refuse to do it, that will be dealt with severely." So, just initially, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts, even on just that portion initially? I mean, there's more to this, but
Yeah, I know. I actually got a chance to read this
Yeah.
ahead of time today. The big issue with me, and it kind of goes on to explain it, right? But the main issue is that they're pushing an ideology that's not allowing kids to have any sort of free thought.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? It's submit or else.
Yeah.
It's submit. That's what it is. There's no free thought allowed. And even though this is in London, we're still seeing this in schools in America and even in our community.
yeah,
So we had a similar thing happen with one of the, I think it was elementary schools.
I believe it was elementary.
Yeah, where there was an issue with that. But the fact is, like, the modern school system just cares more about pushing what it is they want to push, right?
Yeah.
Like they're trying to market, almost for lack of a better term, this idea, this group,
Yeah.
rather than allow there to be any sort of discussion.
Yeah.
Right. And we talked about this on a pre-recorded forever ago.
Yeah.
About how there's a lot of schools that are starting to, like, private schools and vocational schools are starting to get an influx of students because they're teaching real things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like if we're being entirely honest,
Mhm.
right? Even take religious beliefs out. What benefit does it have a kid to teach something like this?
Yeah.
And in the real world, what benefit is there? There's really not.
No.
Right.
No.
Other than what we already teach, which is inclusion and all this other stuff. Like that type of stuff's already taught in school. So why do we need to go to an extra take this specific thing, right?
Yeah. No, 100%, dude.
Yeah.
So so that's kind of my initial thoughts. Like I said, I can kind of dive into some more stuff.
Oh, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
You know, I wrote down some notes because I read this and I was like, I got to remember this.
Yep.
So, and at the other interesting thought is, at what point is this going to not be allowed to talk? At what point is it now encroaching something upon what a religion is, right? Britain doesn't necessarily have a full separation of church and state like we do, right? They're what's the word I'm looking for? Government, right?
Yeah.
There are cardinals and government leaders as part of their parliament, right? So there's not a full separation of that. So I get that, but they still try to teach a certain way, right? Or to tie it back to America, at what point does this LGBTQ plus movement start to become people worshiping that?
Yeah.
And then at what point does it become a quote unquote religion?
Right.
Right? Because if I'm not allowed to not submit to a teaching because of this, right? Then why is it the other way around?
Yeah.
Or imagine flipping this. Imagine a LGBTQ student, right, claiming to be whatever, saying, I don't want to listen to this because it conflicts with my beliefs.
Right.
They would instantly be ushered out of the class.
Yep.
Given a juice box and a cookie on the side, and like, it's okay, right? And we're not teaching kids to actually deal with issues.
Right.
We're just teaching this is what it is, deal with it, or else.
Yep.
And that's not the truth behind all of this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. No, I definitely agree with you. I think that like when I first read this article, I was kind of like, man, like it's interesting how when you take like the approach of what this movement has tried to do, it's to me it's very like they're doing the same thing that they claim that they don't want people to do to them.
Yes.
So it's very it's very contradictory a lot of the time, and so I guess for me it makes me wonder what will it take for them to see that, or will they not? So that's what it makes me think about.
So coming at this from like a counseling perspective.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
So multicultural engagement is like the class I'm in now. So we actually talked a lot about this in class.
Okay, nice.
So one of the things that they teach you is that both are protected classes. So religion is a protected class, and so sexual identity. But because they're both protected classes, you're not allowed to do any research that conflicts either of the two. So a lot of times the discussions don't happen. And we're starting to see that now because people are coming out and saying, I didn't feel comfortable as a woman, but I read this article and it's like, I didn't feel comfortable as a woman, so for years I thought that I was transgender. Well, then they were pushing me to have this surgery in my transgender group of people, but I didn't want that surgery and then once like it took 8 or so years before she decided the reason she wasn't comfortable being a woman because it was scary and it made her uncomfortable because people had done bad things to her.
Yeah.
So instead of ever having that dealt with, like she dealt with years and years of people trying to push different things and make her something that she wasn't. And so when we don't have these discussions where religion can talk with sexual identity, we don't have those studies. We don't have that research. The last that was done was like in the 70s because now it's not legal.
Wow.
And so like even in counseling, like you're not allowed to do anything but LGBTQ positive affirmative counseling. So if for say you were raised Christian and you didn't necessarily want to have those feelings, but you felt some same-sex attraction, we have to feed that. Like as counselors, like that's what they tell you is like,
really?
Oh, you have to because that's a protected class. But because religion is also a protected class, the intersections can't be discussed.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah. So like when I'm reading this article, I'm like, we're not promoting people actually having a conversation. We're not promoting people sitting down in a room and actually working through issues. We're just promoting silence, and that makes people angry, and that only leads to more hate crimes, more things going wrong.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point because the second article actually kind of hits on some of that a little bit more. But that's a really good point. It's just leading to silence. It's just leading to there not actually being any sort of discussion or any sort of anything. It's just it's convert or die is essentially what it's come down to.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the title of this one. Next one is like, okay, so people lose their jobs because they don't believe that that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like, are we okay with that as like a community? Are we okay with that as people? And I'm like, I don't think that anyone should lose their jobs or their, because it happens in counseling too. So like, this was a teacher. This happens all across the board though. Like, people
Yeah.
lose their licenses. They don't get to continue to serve even if they were helping people.
Man. Yeah, it's become very like worrisome.
It's messy.
Absolutely, it's messy. 100% agree with you.
And the big thing with this, I think, yeah. So in 2 Timothy, Paul kind of writes about this, right? About how the world's going to start reacting to truth,
Yeah.
right? And the 2 Timothy 4, it is verses 3 and 4. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching, but have itching ears that will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions, and will turn away from listening to the truth and wander off into myths. Right, which is kind of what you're talking about. People are just going to keep seeking out someone until the person goes, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right, because they're not actually interested in truth, and that's the other issue with the culture our kids are in today. They're not taught to seek truth.
Yeah.
They're sought to teach what makes you feel good. What makes you feel okay? What makes you feel good about yourself? And the truth, it's age-old saying, the truth hurts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and even I think of the movie with Jack Nicholson and or not Jack Nicholson. Good golly, I can't think.
What's it about?
It's the military movie where they're in court. He's like, "You want the truth? You can't handle the truth."
I know exactly what you're talking
that
about.
scene,
but I don't know what the movie's called.
Yeah, I can't.
That's like one of those classic films I've somehow never seen. I just know that scene.
But yeah, you know, like that's been one of those things. People are not going to react well to the truth all the time.
Yeah.
Even we as Christians don't.
You're
Right?
right.
So if we don't always necessarily react in a healthy way towards the truth, how can the world certainly won't,
yeah, absolutely.
right? So that's the other side of it, which goes back to what you said. There's not conversation,
Yeah.
and everybody's just looking for somebody to tell them that it's okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good,
But
man.
really quick, we do need to announce Remnant Roulette winners.
Yes.
So from the time I say your name, so you have about 2 minutes. You have until 9:50 to say you're here.
Get out.
Winner number uno.
All right.
A few good men. Thank you, John. Denise,
Denise, you are the winner.
you are our winner. You guys say you're
Woo!
here. You have until
for
9:50.
9:50, Denise. Need to know that you are here.
I hope they bring you something really cool.
It'd be awesome.
Fun guy shaking his head.
No, it's gonna be like some mowed grass clippings and like a couple twigs. But
Denise, where you at? You are the winner.
oh
Need
boy,
to know you're here. We're getting into crunch time.
Denise. Oh, no.
Denise.
She was on the whole time.
Right, and then she
yeah.
just hopped off. That would be terrible.
Yeah, let's see. Greg says, let's get back to reading, writing, and math. Yeah, the point of school should be to educate people,
Absolutely.
not push a social agenda.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
I'm perfectly fine with them educating. If all they were doing was telling you about LGBTQ+, that wouldn't be an issue because I think that people have the right to make an informed
Sure.
decision. You should know all sides of the argument,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not teaching all sides.
But
they're only teaching one.
And it's not an argument.
Yeah,
It's just this is what it is.
Discussion, and nobody's having the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Hey, Denise. She's here. She said, I actually mowed.
Nice.
There you go. So, Denise, congratulations. Thank you for hopping on. You won. Fun guy. Fun guy says you didn't win. No? Okay, never. No. Denise, congratulations. Fun guy will be in contact with you.
Boom.
Or
He's really upset about it, though.
or he'll find you this Sunday, maybe, perhaps. Yep, he'll find you
Okay.
this Sunday.
All right.
She said, sorry, my TV's like, it's all right. John says,
No
well
worries.
said, Gabby.
All right.
And the other interesting thing about the LGBTQ and sexuality and all that is there have been activists in the LGBTQ community, like big activists who said we should not be teaching kids this.
Yeah,
We should not. It messes
it messes
It-
with
it
them
messes
a
with
lot.
them.
Especially
absolutely.
when they don't have an identity developed anyway.
Yes, which is such a good point because I saw a meme about this the other day, right?
Mhm.
But it did lead to an interesting point. There's not a huge difference between the LGBTQ in today's community and what like the goth movement would have been in like the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
man.
like that punk rock movement. Like the kids are looking for a way to find an identity.
Yes.
You're right.
They want to fit in, and right now with that being one of the big things that's talked about everywhere, that's how they fit in.
Yep.
Even kids that aren't actually
Yes.
have any interest in that. You know, I know people who have had discussions. I've had discussions with kids who claim they are, and you know, and you can go up to a teenage boy who says, you know, he's gay or he's bisexual or whatever. You
Yep.
go, hey, do you find men attractive? He's like, well, no.
Yeah.
Well, then what are you doing? He's like, well, you know, I can't get a girlfriend or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah,
they're
that's not
teenage
the point.
girls. Don't worry about it. They're crazy.
Right.
But and vice versa. to be fair, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But they don't actually have those feelings. It's just this is what I'm supposed to say.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. No, 100% agree with you. A lot of them don't even understand what they're saying.
Yep.
They don't even know what they're saying. So
Mhm.
it's a strange time, man. Which leads us, and you know, I know Gabby kind of touched on it. It leads us to our second article of discussion, which was this is here in Indiana. So it's an Indiana teacher is forced to resign for refusing to use kids' chosen trans pronouns, and they try to appeal the case.
So if you don't want to read this one fully, because I actually have some points on like some highlighted
Go
points.
for it. Go
for it.
Because I actually saw this article maybe about a month or so ago.
Really?
It was covered by CNN at one
Oh,
point.
wow.
So like
Okay.
this actually hit kind of a bigger scale because of what it was.
Yeah.
But this there was a teacher in central Indiana. I think the school was Brownsburg.
Yep.
Okay.
It's community. It was what was his name? John Klug. I assume I'm saying that right.
Mhm.
But he was a music teacher, and the school administrators made a statement that moving forward, students, assuming they had a signed letter from parents, were going to be called their chosen names, chosen pronouns, chosen names, all that stuff, right? So
Mhm.
if they had a signed parent document, they would change it in the school system paperwork even as
Wow.
you know he, she, they, and what they wanted to be called.
Yeah.
John, Mr. Klug, being a Christian, said, "I'm not going to do that."
Yep.
Right? Like that's not what I'm going to do.
Yep.
And he went to the principal with this, and the principal gave him the options to either follow the policy,
Mhm.
resign, or be suspended and pending termination. Which essentially his options were conform,
Yep.
quit, or we're gonna fire you. That's
Yeah.
it. Those were his options.
Oh yeah.
Hey John, love you, love you too, dude.
Have a good night, John.
Drive safe going home. But those were his options. So then at that point, he went above the principal to school administrators,
Yeah.
superintendents, that stuff, and they came to a compromise with the administrators and HR. Right? They came to a compromise where essentially, and this was documented. There was a signed document
Mhm.
that said he would end up just referring to all students by their last names.
Okay.
So
Alright.
it's a compromise.
Yeah.
And
Right, absolutely.
and they even said at one point that if a student or parent were to ever ask, you can be because he was a music director, which means he was in band and choir and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
So they're like, listen, they even said like if anyone were to ask, you can tell them it's like a sports team. You want to create a team environment, right?
Yeah.
So if you call everyone by last names like you would on a sports team,
Mhm.
it creates like a bond. Right?
Sure.
So he's like, cool. And then later, the principal ended up receiving reports from some students and their parents that the students didn't like what was happening, and they felt quote alienated, upset, and dehumanized. Right? That's what they said. Now the interesting point with this is there was also students in the classes
Yeah.
from both sides of this, right, that were claiming to be trans, whatever, and students that were not,
Yep.
Right.
who both said that this did not interfere with any sort of the teaching, that they didn't feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
Mhm.
or anything. So this was people on both sides saying that it was okay, they didn't
Yep.
mind it, and that it didn't come to that,
Right.
Right.
So eventually, what happened is he did end up getting, what was it, suspended, quote
Mhm.
unquote, put on a academic leave or whatever.
Yeah,
Which
yep.
then, if I remember right, I believe he ended up putting in his resignation letter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. He
that's-
resigned.
that's
He,
fair.
he ended up resigning,
Mm-hmm.
and so now he's going back and saying, no, like that, this was not right because I have a right as a person to do or not do something
Yeah.
according to the Constitution and my
Yes.
beliefs.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's part of it. So now they're going back because this actually happened originally 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was like 2018,
Yeah.
I think.
So that's kind of what it is. And so now it's becoming a thing again because now the lawsuit is moving forward, right?
Yep.
And there is a group. I don't know if it's mentioned in this article specifically.
Mm-hmm.
ADF argument. Yeah, maybe that ADF. I think might be
Yeah,
the
that
group.
sounds right.
But they are like not necessarily Christian based, but they call themselves a right wing or
Yep,
something.
it's the
of that-
ADF.
ADF.
Yep.
They call themselves something. It's not necessarily Christian based, but they follow those beliefs, and they're helping him sue because he has an argument for this.
Yeah.
Right. Like he definitely does.
Well, he
Oh,
has
absolutely.
a signed paper that said it was okay
It
to
was
do
okay.
that.
Right. And the big thing that they said was Title VII. Schools district decision violates Title VII, which makes it unlawful to discriminate against someone based on the basis of religion.
Yep.
Which that's exactly what happened here.
Oh yeah.
And so when it comes to this,
Mm.
the big things are whether or not you believe it's happening. Christian persecution is happening.
Mhm.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because Klug here, Mr. Klug, wasn't taken out back and shot at gunpoint,
Yeah.
Mhm.
doesn't mean that this is not persecution.
Yep.
You're right.
Because persecution is defined, and I looked this up, as hostility and ill treatment, especially on the basis of ethnicity, religion, or sexual orientation, or political beliefs.
Yep.
So by that definition, he was persecuted
Yeah.
because he would not step down,
That's right.
and he said, "No, this is not what I'm going to do."
That's right. He wouldn't conform to what they
Exactly.
wanted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, he did. He made a compromise, which
Mhm.
was perfectly reasonable compromise, and they reneged on him. So I feel like if it's anyone's fault, it was theirs.
Mm.
And they shouldn't have made the compromise if they weren't willing to stick with it, even when people came at him. Because it sounds like the school threw him under the bus
Oh,
when
absolutely.
it was their agreement. Like they
Yep.
made an agreement, and then as soon as it was an actual problem, they're like, "Oh no, he's the bad guy,"
Yep.
and he wasn't the bad guy. He talked to them. He made an agreement. He signed the paperwork, and it was a reasonable, I think, adjustment. Like,
Mhm.
okay, we'll call them all by their last names.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just strange times we're in.
Yeah.
man. Strange times because, like, you mentioned it earlier, Gabby. Like, you have to be, especially when you're in like the field of, say, education or any sort of public serving.
Yeah.
You are now kind of in this strange fire. You're in this strange fire of like. You have to choose your words wisely. It's
Yes.
strange because, and here's the thing: when it comes to, say, us as Christians, like, I'm sure you guys have heard us talk about, whether it's on the podcast or here on live over the years, like how like there could be times where you almost have to kind of quote play the game, but
Yeah.
eventually, like, you kind of you meet in this place where like you can't anymore. Like you just have to stand your ground, and like
Yeah.
like Blake was saying, like there is real persecution happening, man. It's like, well, just what a wild time.
Mm.
Like I'd never think that. I know when I was growing up and when, even as a teenager, like I would have never thought that somebody being called by their last names would be considered
Yeah.
something this
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
And that's the thing, because it even says down here, 3 of Klug's students and a fellow teacher, all of whom observed his classes in the 2017-2018 school year,
Mm-hmm.
attested that the last names only practice did not adversely affect the classroom environment.
Yep.
Right.
So,
what's the issue? I don't understand.
well, at the end of the day, the kids didn't get what they wanted.
Yeah.
Which
Yep.
which we're in a, it started years ago with like the Me Too movement, right?
Yep.
Like, and those people that have been victimized, like I feel for truly, but
Mm.
there's also people who have taken advantage of that.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it's become a thing, like we talk about that. It's just a whatever I want.
Yeah.
So, oh hey, our friend Jake is on again.
Oh, what's up, man?
Good to see you, man. Thanks for hopping on. Let's see. And then so the big thing that I had,
Mm-hmm.
okay, is the main difference between what happened here and what happens across
Yeah.
a ton of other schools and
Mhm.
communities is that Klug actually stood up to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because originally it was Klug and 2 or 3 other teachers that went to administration and said, "Hey, we don't agree with this."
Yeah.
Oh,
So what happened to those other 2 or 3,
Mm.
right? So this is also sort of a testament, like, to Christianity and to us, and like a bit of like a call to not arms. I'm not saying we need to fight like
Sure.
physically, but like this should convict some of us,
Oh, absolutely, man.
right? Because how often do we step into something or we see something happen and we step back because it's uncomfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Christians have gotten a reputation of being pushovers.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
And that's part of the problem here is they pushed back against the Christians, and you know, if through the last 100 years Christians had just been solid, right, and that's us included, that's me,
Oh,
right?
definitely.
If we had just done that, this wouldn't be as big of an issue as it is, because it would be like, all right, listen, they're, you know, even if it was from a bad place, like, okay, they're Christians, I can't do this, right? But still, they know what we're about. And I find it interesting that there were 2 or 3 other teachers here that also said, hey, we're also Christians.
Yeah.
And we don't like this. And then they ended up backing off.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
And the interesting part is Jesus talks about this.
That's right, man.
Right? There's going to be persecution.
You got to count the cost, man.
Yes, there's going to be times where following Jesus will cost you something.
Absolutely.
If you go through your entire life claiming to be a Christian and it doesn't cost you a single thing, are you actually following Jesus?
It's good, man.
You know, and here Klug, he lost his job.
Yeah.
Yep.
He lost the thing that he loved to do. And the interesting part is Klug looked fairly young too. Like he hadn't been a teacher for super long.
Man, dude.
I believe just a few years before this happened.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. He, you know, we can look at him as an example of like to stand for what you believe in. You know, especially for, you know, if Christians are watching this, like, you know, you gotta look in the mirror and understand that, like, you know, Jesus said, like, you know, they will hate you because you've loved me. Like, and it's gonna, you know, we're coming, like I said earlier, we're in some weird times, man. We're like, you know, persecution is getting more public. It's becoming more public. And like, you just gotta ask yourself, like, have I really counted the cost to what it means to truly follow Jesus Christ? You know, like, have I actually counted that cost? Because, like, you know, there's going to come a time where it's going to come to a head and you're going to be faced with that reality that, oh, this is going to cost me something. Am I willing to still follow?
Yeah.
So it's good stuff, man.
I could probably rant on about Christian culture, like modern Christian culture, and even the past 100 and some years as to why it's led to this, right?
Right.
But like, at the end of the day, are you truly willing to stand up your beliefs to what it is that you claim to believe?
Yep.
So yeah, and it's interesting because even as, you know, as a society in general, like, this is what we're pushing towards, right? Like we talked about last week a little bit with like AI and stuff like that. But we're like, the things that are happening in the world is pushing towards a place, and it's probably moving faster than what a lot of people realize. Not to scare anyone, like, I don't want to scare you, but it's pushing towards a place where Christians are persecuted. It's already happening in other parts of the world, right?
Oh, sure.
Like
you can see. I mean, speaking of that, I was on, like I said, these were from the Christian Post, and like they have like world news too, and like I saw. I mean, there was like 16 Christians in like Nigeria that got shot in the head.
Yeah.
For believing in Christ.
Yep.
So you're right. I mean, it's prevalent throughout the rest of the world. If you're a Christian, man, like there's some heavy persecution.
And you know,
to cost you your life, like
even a place like Britain, right? If they're in a place where there's not a full separation of church and state, right? And these types of things are happening there, it's bound to happen here.
Oh yeah,
and it already is. We know that. You know, but there is studies and things that have been done that's like, this is not healthy for the kids.
Yep.
So I don't know, and you know. The interesting part too is like, we're getting ready to talk about some of this stuff in youth group, you know, in the next coming weeks. Yeah. And you can tell the kids are uncomfortable with it, right? But why? Why are the kids uncomfortable talking about this stuff? If it's as popular and as talked about as they claim it is, and as they're acting, then what's the issue with talking about it? Right? But they're and that's not to shame them, right? Like,
sure.
They're 13, 14 years old. Like,
right.
I wouldn't have wanted to talk about this when I was their age. But if not, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Right? So if we don't talk about it, then this is what happens.
Yep. 100%, man.
So I don't know. And to those of you out there who have kids, or you have relationships with kids, like, tell them truth.
Yep.
It is not wrong to tell your children that being gay is a sin. It is not wrong to tell them that.
It's not wrong. You're right.
It's, you know, it's not wrong to walk through that with them. And I liked what you said earlier when you were talking about kind of when people come to counseling for these things, right?
Yep.
The feelings are real.
Yeah.
I do not deny that there are people with genuine attraction to the same sex.
Well, sure. It's just like you know, having a sexual desire towards a woman, but it's outside of marriage. Like, it's the same thing.
Yes.
It's
there's
the same
no
thing.
difference. But the interesting part is that doesn't mean that they can't walk out of that.
Yeah, yeah, and not everybody wants that. So like, not everybody wants to be gay that feels those attractions, and sometimes they just need somewhere to ask questions or to talk about that. And we don't give them that space because it's you have to be either one way or another, and there's no space to like talk about and try to work through things.
Like, you know, kind of like what I said, it's a hot button, man.
Yeah,
It's hot button.
Yeah.
You bring that up, and there's, like you said, there's immediately two camps.
yeah,
there's
exactly,
dig-
and it doesn't need to be that way.
And I think, you know, the other side of it is we've let, as Christians, we've let the loudmouth Christians set the culture for what is
Yeah.
what we're actually called to do and called to be.
Yeah,
Right? So you know, you think about like what are the extremes? Like what was the thing for a while? The Westboro Baptists, right?
Yep.
And they were going out telling people you're gay, you're going to hell.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
They're
not true.
That's not helpful either.
they
that's
were-
really not doing much for our
No.
cause.
Yes.
No, it's
so
not.
At the end of the day, what are we called to do? We're called to tell them the truth,
Right.
which is what you're wanting to pursue
Mhm.
is not of God. That is not godly,
Right.
Yep.
right? And so, but what does save you, right?
Yeah.
Not being gay isn't what saves you.
Yeah.
Not being in a homosexual relationship isn't what saves you.
That's right.
But what saves you? Christ.
That's right, man.
Accepting Jesus, what he did
Mm-hmm.
and who he is what saves you.
Absolutely, man.
And that doesn't mean you can't still struggle with that stuff.
Nope.
You know, like I said, I believe there are people that have these thoughts and these feelings, but you
Mhm.
know, you know, especially Todd, like he said it a lot before, like
Mm-hmm.
because you have that feeling, am I allowed to go sleep with a bunch of women?
Nope.
They're both adultery. Right?
Exactly.
They're both sexual sins.
You're right, man.
So at the end of the day, none of that truly matters.
You're right, dude.
It's
Yeah.
it's about accepting Jesus.
Yeah.
Mm.
And if we make this the first and foremost issue in everyone's lives, they're all going to hate us. Like,
Mhm.
you can't force somebody to see your point of view by only pointing out, hey, gay is wrong all the
Mhm.
time. If that's all you ever tell them is that they're wrong and everything they do is evil, then they're not going to want to follow Jesus. Why would you follow that?
Exactly. No,
It's-
I 100% agree. It kind of goes along with what Blake said, like
Yeah.
about like, yeah, like thing is like you being gay is what
Yeah.
sending you to hell. It's you rejecting Christ.
Right.
Yes.
100% agree.
So yeah, I don't know. And what does that look like for us as Christians?
Mm.
Right? It means accepting them into a church service on a Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah.
It means going out and talking to them. Like,
Yeah.
you know, when you know someone who has this, like actually sitting down and having a conversation,
Yep.
Mhm.
not just going, "You're going to hell. You're a sinner."
Yeah.
Because if that's what it was, we're all screwed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's only about the one sin, we're all screwed.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
am.
No, 100%.
You
dude.
know, so I think that's the one thing to keep in mind is what Jesus went to the people that no one else wanted to be around,
Yeah.
right? And he went to the cultures, right? If you think about that time, the tax collectors, right?
Yep.
Like that's the big thing. They're so far against the church
Yep.
that's where Jesus went because he's like those people
Mm.
are the ones that need help,
Mhm.
right? So who and what is that in our world? Maybe
Yeah.
it is the LGBTQ community. Maybe that is what we're called to do.
Yeah.
Is to go into there, you know, because
Mm.
in society's eyes, who is the farthest from Jesus and who is the farthest from the church?
Yep.
They would
Makes
be,
sense,
right?
yeah.
Like so, I don't know.
Yeah, the story I always think of is the woman that was caught in adultery, and when they're all about to stone her, and like Jesus knew she was guilty, but grace didn't stop until everyone stopped
That's
throwing
good.
stones. So like
Hmm.
grace can't just be, I'm not gonna throw stones. Grace has to be, I'm gonna stand by you until nobody throws stones at you.
Mm.
And so like when I think of these people that are being, you know, like there are hate crimes. There are terrible things that happen to people who claim to be part of this LGBTQ
Mhm.
community, and like it's not about stoning them. We don't need to stone them, but it has to go farther than just not throwing stones.
Hmm.
Nobody can be throwing stones.
That's good. It's, you know, because Jesus and the
Right.
adulterous woman, it wasn't just not throwing the stones. It was letting her know that she's forgiven for
Yeah.
what she's done, so that she can come to Christ,
Right.
right? So it's the same way with LGBTQ. Just because you're not out,
That's really good.
just because you're
That's
you're,
really
you're not
good.
out there yelling at him or throwing, you know,
Yeah.
actually it happens. You're right.
Yep.
But what would Jesus have done? He
Yeah.
would have went and said, "No, y'all ain't any different,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? Because I am no different than
Mhm.
anybody who supports LGBTQ or who is, right, who claims to be part of that. I'm no different, except I accepted Jesus. That's
Yeah.
the only difference.
That's
the
right.
only difference between me and them.
Yep, exactly. Like you gotta let them. Like you gotta be able to show them the situation.
Mhm.
Like you got to find a way to get them to understand the situation, but then still also show them the way out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, you're not showing them the way out. If anything, it's just like what Jesus told the Pharisees: like you put weights on their backs without telling them how to take it off. So when you just say, like you guys mentioned, the Westboro Baptist thing, like
Yeah.
holding out signs and saying gays are going to hell. It's like that's not really helping. It's only it's a sin, but like you're not telling them how.
Yeah.
You're not.
You're not fixing anything.
You're not
Exactly.
helping. You're just accusing.
Yep.
There's no point in that.
Yep.
So
Good stuff,
cool.
guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your thoughts too, Gabby. And
Oh, yeah.
it was cool you were on this week because we get another perspective
You got this. You can do
another
this.
perspective on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, man. I think we're about ready to close up.
Awesome.
Time flies. Does anybody have any questions?
Last
Post them
chance.
now.
I did just check. I didn't see any, but we
Ooh.
can give them about a minute or two.
Last
and-
chance. Well, I'll start to slowly tie the bow on this gift, and we'll so
Slowly.
if you guys have any last minute questions, now's your chance to get them in.
Mhm.
Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you guys. If you're within driving distance, that's probably like an hour, honestly, maybe
Yeah.
2. But if you want to come check us out, we are the Remnant Church in Columbia City, Indiana. We have services on Sunday at 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
Super awesome. You come in, you worship, you hear an awesome message, and then afterwards, there's a free community meal.
Yep.
So worst case, come and get some free food.
That's right.
You can sit down and hang out with all 3 of us.
Mhm.
Fun guy with fun turn, and everyone else that's involved with the church, and just come out and say hi. We'd
That's
love
right.
to have you. But continue to share the video, guys. You don't know who it's going to bless or who needs to hear this. If there's
That's
a
right.
part that you're like, hey, this was really good, share it and then go, hey, go to this minute. Like
There it is.
if you know someone who has questions maybe about the LGBT community and the schools and what that looks like,
Yep.
you could link them to it. Be like, hey, around hour and 40 probably.
Yeah.
Like they talk about it.
Yep.
Right. So continue to share it, guys. We thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with us. Love you too, Denise. We do love you guys.
Love you, Denise.
AJ, appreciate you, brother. Good job.
You too,
tonight.
man.
Gabby,
Well done.
Thanks for coming on. You rocked it. Fun guy.
Thanks for
Where's?
being
Oh,
on.
he's way there in the back. Fun
Oh,
guy.
I see him in the
Thank you
shadows.
for hurting our mouths
Thanks for
a
the
little bit.
chicken.
and
It
for
was yummy.
Gabby. Thanks you for the delicious food.
Yes, I was really hungry.
Fun turn. Good job tonight, brother. Thank you for keeping up with our antics and everything else. And thank you guys so much for being willing to tune out. Or tune in.
Tune in.
Tune in and check us out.
There you
Yeah.
go.
That's what I was trying. Don't tune us out. Thank you for tuning in and checking us out.
There
We
you
gotta
go.
go because I can't talk.
It's,
But
it's over for you.
Remember, at the end of the day, guys, like we said, the only difference between someone going to hell and someone going to heaven is the acceptance of Christ.
Mm.
Right? Jesus died for you. That's a fact. He did. He lived a perfect life. He died on the cross. He was resurrected 3 days later. It's fact. Right? So all you have to do that is accept it. That means believing it in your heart and saying it with your lips.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. We can clean. It's happening. Jesus can clean you up afterwards.
That's good.
We
man.
can help you through that walk, but contact us. But that link is open 24/7, 365 days.
That's right.
So you can submit a question anytime. Check out our pre-recorded coming up this coming week, or watch any of the old ones if you want to see what's going on.
It's good stuff,
And
man.
They get to go a little bit deeper. It's pretty cool. So, other than that, I think that's it. We need to get out of here before I say something else stupid. But thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Love you all. Have a great week, and God bless you guys.